So, guys, here we are, Stoomboy, the Combat Companion. So, as always, show's brought to you by Hard Life Fightwear. So, Hard Life Fightwear offering a range of products, whether it be gi, no gi, MMA, they do have you covered. So, anybody looking for any cool stuff, definitely hit up hardlifefightwear.co.uk. Use the discount code STOOM15, and you will get a little bit of a discount through whatever you get. So, now, guys, we're going to be talking, as we've been doing all week, we've been talking about BFC 8. Now, BFC 8 going to be at the Middlesborough Sports Village, October 18th. Now, BFC is always one that puts on some of the best amateurs from all over the country. Not just BFC, I mean, there's a lot of promotions, but BFC definitely kind of float the boat out with the promotion and everything that they do. So, and we, as I say, we see some of the best amateurs across the country on the card, and some of them went on and done some crazy stuff in the sport, and some of these guys will continue going on further, Cage Warriors, PFL, UFCs and stuff like that. So it's always great to see them at grassroots level in the amateur game. So now, anybody looking for tickets, the fighters have all got their own kind of code, so make sure you do hit up your chosen fighter, check the code. I think they've got a link for not just the tickets, but the pay-per-view as well. So if you are going to see a specific fighter, make sure you do hit up any chosen code for them. If you're not going to see anybody in particular, just pick a fighter and just use their code. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's going to be an amazing night in Middlesbrough. Now, my next guest then is going to be on the card that night. So he's already a BFC veteran. I think it's going to be his third time on the show. So Harry Endgame Edwards of AVT Leeds and IMA Gym. So as I said, Harry's one of these guys, awesome to watch. You know, I mean, really, really good to watch. Got good stand-up. Awesome ground game, man. I mean, do not give Harry anything, man. Do you know what I mean? If you're giving him an arm, a leg, a neck, man, he's taking it home with him. So, but he's definitely one that's a very, very exciting fighter to watch, and we can't wait to see him back on the BFC stage. So, Harry, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for obviously taking the time to speak to me.
No, mate, thank you very much for having me. I'm so excited for this fight, man. I cannot wait.
Yeah, so tell us about you then. Obviously, I mean, you've been around for a little bit. I think what's your record? About 7-4 at the moment. So good record,
yeah.
Good record.
Yeah,
and the one thing I like about your record is, and again, you look at your opponents. I mean, you're not afraid to go in there against very, very tough opponents. I mean, you're not one of these guys, and you know, like most people, there's a lot of guys out there that have got padded records and all that kind of stuff. We obviously won't talk about that, right? But you're a guy that's out there fighting the toughest of the tough out there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think I've always had coaching staff, particularly Jay Furness, who's like my head coach over at AVT. He's never wanted to shy away from anything, and I've always tried to follow the example of all the other AVT guys. We're not about taking fake fights. We're about fighting good guys and actually getting good. Because you don't get better by splattering cans. You got to test yourself. And I've always tried to live up to that. And Jay gives me a name, and it's my job to say yes, and that's it.
Yeah. And as it is, it is some tough fights. I mean, as I'm looking through your record, and as I said, you the one thing I like about you, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Do you know what I mean? So as everybody knows, and so I mean, I love it when an MMA fighter comes in and they're all about talking about all. As you've got the stand-up, the stand-up's there. But I mean, I said it at the beginning. I mean, if anybody gives you anything, you're going to take it. You're going to submit them, and a very, very high percentage of your wins have all come by submission.
100%. It's funny, right? Because my coaches kind of make fun of me a bit because in the gym, I'm like a top pressure guy. Like I take people down. I'm on top. I'm landing ground and pound, all that. A bunch of my submission wins are from the bottom. And so it's a bit of a running joke that, like, come on, Harry, you got to do something that we can take credit for. You keep getting these subs from the bottom. We need you to get them from the top. But absolutely, like you said, I really pride myself on being dangerous on the floor. Like if you tangle with me on the ground, I'm going to snatch something and the fight's going to be over. That's exactly what I'm looking for in this next fight.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean that's everybody goes in there with game plans and stuff like that. But as you said, if someone gives you something, you're going to take it 100%. You're going to take it. If there's a loose arm, a loose leg, a neck, or whatever, do you know what I mean? It's 100% going to get jumped on. Everybody would love to go out and knock everybody out, or do you know what I mean, ground and pound or whatever. But as I said, how you win dictates how the fight goes.
Yeah, for sure. And don't get me wrong, I'm not neglecting my striking either. Like I'm fully aware of like I've got this strength in jiu-jitsu, so I'm spending the time now to really build up my Muay Thai, build up my boxing, because I want to be scary everywhere. You know, just when people think, oh, as long as I don't end up on the ground with Harry, I'm sound. That's when I want to crack you. So yeah, I'm trying to be. I want to be more like Demetrius Johnson or GSP. They're who I'm trying to be.
Do you think people underestimate your kind of stand-up game? Then do you think that because you know yourself? I mean, see when you go in, you look at someone's record, and it's all submission. It's submission heavy, right? Do you think people then would come in and underestimate you and say, well, do you know what? I'm going to keep this guy on the feet. I'm not going to go to the ground. I'm going to stand up with this guy.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I think I can't really speak to my opponent's mindsets because I imagine they probably view it a lot how I do. That like, okay, there's clearly a threat there. It's something I've got to think about, but fundamentally, I'm focusing on what I'm going to do. You know, I'm building on my strengths. And I'm one of these guys who earlier on, I was a big overthinker. You know, I'd watch all the tape and, oh, he does this and he does that and that. And then you get in there, and especially at the amateur level, it's like you're fighting a totally different guy. You know, from camp to camp, you could have completely changed your skill set. So I leave the analysis to my coaches, and I'm fighting the man that I'm fighting on the day. I'm not fighting someone who I've seen in YouTube videos. I've got to react to what's in front of me.
Definitely. Tell us about you, the BFC. BFC, amazing platform. Do you know what I mean? Amazing promotion. Obviously, the guys do a very, very good job in putting together very, very good matchups, and not just the matchups, but we talk about the promotion of the show as well. Because again, there's some shows out there that can maybe up their game a little bit, but BFC seems to have it perfectly, and they do a good job.
Yeah, 100%. I've always had a really enjoyable time when I've competed there. Both times I did it, you know, they've got the interviews. You go in and the venue's all lit up and like exciting, and every time I've gone, there's clearly been a progression where, you know, like, oh, this bit's a little bit more refined, or, you know, it's a little bit more flashy and snazzy. And that's what you want. Just you want to be part of these like fun, exciting shows. And as a fighter, that makes it, that much more enjoyable.
Yeah. It is great. I mean, as the BFC, I've not had the chance to get down, but obviously I watched the show. I watched quite a few of the shows, and BFC seems to, and as I said, I remember like from the early days of the beginnings of BFC, and as you said, they've over time they've got better and better and better, and that's the thing. I mean, that's what we want to see for you as an amateur, because eventually you're going to go on and do the things like you're going to go down the route potentially Cage Warriors, or as I said, PFLs, UFCs, and all that kind of stuff. And we want to have promotions where they're taking you from here and then building you, and especially not just in the fights, but we talk about the media stuff as well. And do you know what I mean? So we want you, when you do make that UFC debut, you're going to be like, do you know what I mean? I'm used to this, all the media stuff and everything else that comes with it. You're going to have experienced all that.
100%. It's actually something I've really enjoyed this year. Just like the way my fights have lined up, there's been a lot more like interviews and like chatting about what's going to happen. And you know, I've always been someone who's quite comfortable just talking and chatting. But it's nice to sort of feel like, you know, I'm engaging with people. They're interested in like, you know, what's going on with my training, who I am as a fighter. And it gives people that inside look that means when fight day comes around, you're invested, like you're actually interested in, oh, I remember that Harry guy. I hope he wins. I hope he does well. That's been really cool.
Let me ask, obviously, again, this is always a difficult question to answer for a lot of people, but thinking of where you are now, right? If you had to go back to when you first started, lining up for that debut, what would be the piece of advice you would give yourself when you first started?
Oh, man. So It's funny you asked that, right? Because I had a bit of a weird debut, right? I was still living. You can tell by my voice, I'm not a Yorkshireman by birth. I was brought up in Surrey, south of London, and I debuted on Fusion Fighting Championship, and my it was a first round submission win by flying armbar,
I saw that,
and
yeah.
and that was a pretty awesome moment.
Yeah.
However, if I was to be coaching 19-year-old Harry now, I would be telling him, "You idiot! Don't jump at him, and don't do that. That's insane." But again, I think that's one of those things where like you're only going to learn by doing the crazy things and having the crazy experiences. So for as stupid and reckless as that was, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. I mean, as he did, like a flying armbar in a debut amateur MMA fight, you're not going to see very often. Do you know what I mean? Because again, you know yourself. I mean, anybody comes in for a debut, they're usually a bit cautious, and do you know what I mean? And there's that back and forward, but to come out and just throw on a flying armbar triangle, a flying armbar finish. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like exactly as you said. Like what are you doing, Harry? What is it you're doing, man?
Yeah, I mean, I remember at the time, like, it was a weird sequence where, like, the guy booted me in the head with a kick, and I was like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" And I kicked him back, and I went for some like jumping teep or something, and he caught it, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is bad!" And then he stuck his arm in my chest. And it was like time slowed down. And I was like, well, if I was on my back, this would just be close guard. So like, I'll just jump it. And then there was a half second where I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I just went for it. And then the rest was history.
Listen, that's always going to end up very good or very bad. Do you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
And obviously it paid off. It's definitely one for the highlight reels for sure.
Yeah. Like, and you know what? To sort of come full circle, I think even now I'm a much more refined fighter. Like I'm a lot more technically proficient in all areas. But fundamentally, that's who I am. Like if I see an opportunity to go for something, I'm gonna go for it. And I think that's why people find me exciting to watch.
Definitely. So obviously BFC coming up. Obviously you want to get this win for sure. So and then you want that title back, Harry. You want that title.
Exactly. Yeah. I've both of my title fights on BFC. They were really, really good fights. It was the first one. It was like getting the armbar win. That was sweet. And then the second one, like all the way down to the 5th round. Joseph Kenworthy now, I think he's like representing England at the IMAF. So again, it's like I've never ever fought pushovers, and I'm proud of that. But I'm also fully conscious that the guy I'm fighting next, like he's a very good fighter as well. I'm not under any sort of illusions that like, you know, the people I've fought before are better. Every time I get in there, I'm treating it as if I'm about to be in the fight of my life, basically.
Yeah. Also got another guy, and Kyle McNeil. We did an interview with Kyle McNeil, so he's going to be watching this matchup very closely as well because he wants to get back in the mix as well. I know he fought for the title at BMF 7. Obviously, fell short on that point. So he's in maybe not in a similar position than you. Well, no, I suppose he is because he fought for the title. Obviously, you were the champion. So Kyle McNeil's obviously shouting for the title as well. So there's quite a few of you in the mix.
Yeah. Well, and look, this is what it's about. It's like we all want to prove that we're the ones at the top spot. And so I rate that if he's saying out and proud that you know, I'm gonna win and then I'm coming for whoever has that belt. You know, I'm always ready. I'm here in Leeds, always staying prepared.
Definitely. So, but Harry, it's going to be awesome to see you. Do you know what I mean? Out there, do you know what I mean? I've got a huge amount of respect and love for AVT, as everybody knows. Do you know what I mean? I get to see obviously the AVT kids coming through the scene. Do you know what I mean? Some of these kids are Do you know what I mean? Just jiu-jitsu, some are MMA fighters and stuff like that. And do you know what I mean? So a huge amount of respect for obviously the AVT team, Tom the Viking, absolute legend in my eyes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're buzzing to see you on the 18th of October. So final thing then, Harry. Obviously, you've been in the game for a little bit. I mean, you've got amazing people around you. Do you know what I mean? A lot of amazing people. But anybody in particular you want to shout out to? Any friends, family members, teammates, sponsors, anything you may have?
God, man. I mean, well, like you say, I've got amazing coaches. So my two sort of head coaches, Jay Furness over at AVT, and then Liam Can at IMA. Those guys are like they're my generals. You know, they're the ones commanding me, telling me what to do. I've been working my boxing with Daryl Kendall, my Muay Thai with James France Badger over at Bad Company. And then got all my teammates, you know, all these guys are basically, I live in the gym. So my teammates are my like closest friends. Like I'm not really doing anything else. So all these guys know who they are, the people who I spend every day with, like you're my ride or die brothers. And I'm really excited to show in like the new levels that not just myself, but like my teams are reaching. A bunch of the IMA lads have recently got matched up on BFC. So it's going to be awesome to ride out together and take Middlesbrough by storm.
Definitely. Listen, we're looking forward to seeing it for sure. So hopefully we'll get a couple of the IMA. I know we've had one already. One of the IMA guys on.
Riley, right?
Yeah, we had Riley. Awesome guy, man. Awesome guy. Really, really nice. Do you know what I mean? And again, very focused. He knows what he wants to do, man. He knows exactly what he wants to do. And do you know what I mean? He's such a great guy to talk to. Do you know what I mean? So we're very excited to see him. And then we'll try and get a couple of the other boys on as well. Do you know what I mean? So guys, there we go then. Harry Endgame Edwards is going to be heading to BFC 8. That's October 18th. Middlesborough Sports Village. Now, again, I said before, tickets and pay-per-view. Harry has his own code, which I believe BFC have put up. Harry will get put up as well. And that's a code. So if you are looking to go and see Harry, whether it be in person at the venue or whether it be pay-per-view, then definitely use Harry's link. See, if you're not going to see Harry and you've not got anybody, choose Harry's code anyway, man. Just put in Harry's code, man, and just as everything goes to Harry, or he gets I believe a cut off it. I believe he gets something from it.
Yeah, so, that's right.
Yeah. One thing I always talk about as well is sponsors. So it's very important for sponsors to come in and sponsor these guys. Now, there's a few reasons for that. One, it helps these guys stay focused on what they need to do. So having a sponsor is definitely beneficial, not just for the fighter, but obviously for the business as well. A lot of these guys are fantastic on social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or whatever they're doing. Do you know what I mean? These guys will get your business out there in front of so many people. A lot of these fight cards that they're on as well also have pay-per-view. So there's that added kind of eyes to it as well. So it's definitely beneficial for both. Get them now as well where they're cheap. Don't wait till Harry gets to the UFC because it'll be a lot more. It'll cost you a lot more money at that point.
You heard it here first.
Definitely. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously jump on board. Definitely support these guys. These guys are out there putting themselves on the line for our entertainment. Do you know what I mean? We appreciate them so much for what they do. Do you know what I mean? Things like the audience only really gets to see the fight. They don't see what goes on before the fight, the fight camp. Fight camps could be, let's say, 6, 8, 10 weeks, whatever. And they don't see the blood, the sweat, the tears, and everything that goes into a fight camp. So,
100%. If it was possible to like just do the fighting bit, I think everyone would do it because the fighting bit's fun. That's the bit that's good. It's the grind, the 8 weeks beforehand where you're hustling and you're doing your Shark Tank rounds and you're dieting and all that stuff. Yeah, man. Any support that anyone can give is like really, really appreciated. So yeah, if you're out there, sponsors in Yorkshire, hit me up.
Definitely. Harry, how did he get in contact with you? Where is the best place to contact you?
I'd say the best place to hit me up is probably on my Instagram. It's Endgame MMA1. That's me. Yeah, drop me a DM, and yeah, I'm always around.
Muhammad Ali said it best was he loved every single fight, but he hated every single training camp. Do you know what I mean? So he said it best. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
the GOAT himself.
yes, yes. So guys, there we go then. Harry Endgame Edwards. But Harry, listen, absolute pleasure, brother. Thank you for taking the time to speak to me today.
Mate, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Listen, enjoy the rest of your training camp. Have an amazing fight when it comes. And yeah, we'll speak soon, brother.
Thank you, mate. Thank you very much.
Care.